Hey everyone, I watched the next episode of Lightspeed Rescue. Can't remember what the name of it is. Anyway, I have my notes here. There's not really anything too special about the episode that I want to talk about, but anyway, this is the first episode with Diabolico is gone as the main villain, and now we got Olympius in. Not a big fan of Olympius. I like Diabolico way better than Olympius, but it's fine. Anyway, weird thing at the beginning of the episode, there's some music that I don't know if it was made especially for Countdown to Destruction, but that's what I associate it with, and it's very weird to hear that here. Anyway, let's see. Oh, this is an interesting thing. At the beginning of the episode, they go to fight with Olympius, and he blows up some building or something. Carter tells Ryan, "Go help the civilians," and the other Rangers go to deal with the Sentai footage. It works, I guess, to separate the Rangers so they can use the Sentai footage. It would have been nice to have all the Rangers together fighting Olympius. Anyway, oh, and that was a thing. Let's see. At the end of the last episode, Impus is wrapped up in this cocoon that looks like a dragon wing, and this episode he is released from that and he renames himself Olympius. Not sure how that works. Like, did he pick his own name or who knows? Anyway, let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. He's fighting with the Rangers, but then he suffers a power drain, and he has to retreat back to the Demon's base. Huh. Weird. Anyway, back at the Aqua base, the Rangers are telling Captain Mitchell about what's going on, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, Ryan tells Captain Mitchell he knows about Olympius and the star power. And this is a weird bit I noticed. There's a little line that I completely missed the last time I watched this, or I never thought about it, where he says that he can't remember things clearly or something from when he was with the demons, growing up with them. So I thought that's really interesting. Was that planned to be a plot point or something? Like why he never really goes too deep into his history of growing up with frickin' monsters? Yeah, anyway, let's see, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, that was something. Olympius manages to kidnap four of the Rangers, so Carter and Ryan are the only Rangers left. Forgot about that. I watched the episode like a day or two ago, so my mind's kind of fuzzy. I'm really tired. I'm tired a lot lately because of work. Anyway, um, back at the Demon's base, Olympius has come up with a new plan, and he reveals that he can shapeshift, which I'm trying to remember. Like, does this come back in the future? I don't think they bring this back. Or if they do, they don't do it in a big way. Anyway, he disguises himself as Chad. He somehow gets detected by Lightspeed. Like, a little beeper thingy goes off on their computer. And at first I was like, so does he have his morpher or something? No, Chad would still have the morpher. Because they're morphed, I think. I don't know. There was a little bit where he, like, tucks a thing into his shirt, and I was like, oh, does he have dog tags? Is that how they're tracking them? But then I rewound it, and oh, no, that's the little red star things, the star power that he got from Diabolico, I guess. Anyway, Carter and Ryan show up. They bring Chad back to the Aqua base, and there's a really nice little bit that I like where Carter tells Chad to clean up. Chad goes, or well, Diabolico, or Olympius as Chad goes the completely wrong way, and then Carter's like, "What are you doing? Your quarters are that way." Oh yeah, and I like that. That was a nice little subtle bit that in the future we'd have plots like this, and they kind of glance over that the bad guys wouldn't know their way around the base. Like I'm trying to think. I know there were some recent seasons, like in the newer Neo Saban seasons, where there was like a villain or something that got into the good guy's base, and they for some reason like knew their way around. I can't remember off the top of my head which one I was thinking of. Like I keep thinking of Dino Charge. There's an episode where Snide breaks into the base, and it's really weird because like usually Keeper's in the base, but for some reason this time he's absent from there, and I don't know what the reason was. Uh, anyway, back to Lightspeed. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah. Uh, Olympius transforms into Kelsey, and he really gets her mannerisms down really well. And this is kind of something I wanted to talk about. I like these kinds of episodes where, like, the villain creates a clone or a double of somebody or takes over their brain and makes them act weird because it gives the actor a chance to really show their skills and, uh, like, they can really play some range when they do plots like this. And let's see, Chad does a really good job of playing like what's the guy's Mike Chatteranabit does a really good job of like playing Chad as like not Chad, as Olympius disguised as Chad. Uh, what's her name? Sasha something? Sasha Williams? I don't remember what her name is now. I used to know all the Power Ranger actors' names, and now my brain is like forgetting all of them. Anyway, all the actors, they do a good job of like showing like Olympius as them. Although for some reason Kelsey is the most like enthusiastic. I don't know, maybe Olympius just really likes being Kelsey. Who wouldn't? Anyway, um, as Kelsey, he overhears Carter and Captain Mitchell and Ryan talking about sending out a search party for the other Rangers. Oh wait, no, it says Chad, and then he transforms into Kelsey, goes up and lies and says, "Hey, everyone's back. We're fine. We escaped." And they're like, "Oh, cool." And but then Carter's suspicious, and then let's see. For some reason, oh, now remember, Kelsey or Olympius as Kelsey goes to a computer and is trying to access it to open up the door so that the bad guys can break in. And someone tells him, her, whatever, that they need a key card. So they go to Captain Mitchell's office, I think. They're ripping his desk apart trying to find a key card. And then they transform into Dana. And then even tricks Captain Mitchell, her own father, into thinking that, yeah, this is actually Dana. That was a weird bit. It doesn't really, like, pay off or anything. It's just a neat little thing. Then the weird thing is Olympius turns into Joel. For not really any reason. He could have stayed as Dana. I don't know why. Whatever. I guess they needed the actors all there throughout the episode. And, let's see, what's going on? Oh, yeah. He goes in, he's opening the door. Fairweather tries to stop him. He pushes her away. She knows something's wrong. Carter comes in. And, let's see, there's a really nice, like, standoff that they have. Where, let's see, he drops the key card. Carter comes in. He's standing there. He takes the hat off. "Carter, can you hand me my key card?" And I just love the way he says it and just the look on his face. Joel's actor, I can't remember what his name is. I can't remember his actor for some reason for Lightspeed off the top of my head now for some reason. Anyway, I just love the look on his face. Oh, and there's a really cool thing with the makeup. When Olympius turns into everybody, they have like a slightly pale look to their face with some bags under their eyes, and that's really cool. And let's see, blah blah blah. Anything special going on? Oh yeah, the bad guys, the demons, they have a new monster. But the weird thing is they didn't make it from a card, or at least we don't see them do it. Jinxer just says, "I have a new monster," and this monster comes out, grrr. And I don't know, did they make this one from a card, or was it just a monster that showed up? Like they found him, like in Turbo. Like in Turbo, the way they would get monsters is they wouldn't make the monsters usually. The only monster I think that they actually showed them making was Mad Mike the pizza guy. Other than that, the monsters would just kind of show up. Like, I don't know, they were looking for work or something. So I wonder, did monsters ever, like, come down to the demons and they were like, "Oh, hey, you need my help?" And they're like, "Sure, go fight the Rangers, okay." Anyway, just weird little thing I thought. So anyway, let's see, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, there's a cool scene in the Aqua Base when, let's see, Carter finds out that Olympius is, or it's not really Joel, it's Olympius. Olympius drops the disguise and is just himself, and Carter wrestles him right into the water, and water weakens demons, so his powers are just nullified. The other Rangers are freed from the little star thing on his chest, or whatever that was, and then they get the Megazord, Ryan joins with the Solar Zord. We get the the Lightspeed Solar Zord, and defeats Olympius. Olympius retreats back to the base, and oh yeah, the monster is also blown up. And there's a really nice thing back at the Demon's base where Vipra is really condescending to Olympius. I don't usually care for the way Vipra's actor delivers lines, but for some reason here, it worked really, really well. And I just, I kind of like Olympius being taken down like this. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't like him as much as Diabolico, so the other bad guys even are treating him like he's incompetent is something I really like. Anyway, back at the Aqua base, we get a really weird, awkward scene. When I was a kid, I didn't really get it, and even as an adult, I still don't really get the idea. The other Rangers gang up on Carter and pretend, I think, to blame him for letting Olympius in, and they, like, corner him, and he falls into the water from earlier, and they all laugh, and the end. Okay. It was a very Sentai feeling thing. Like, it's the type of thing that, for Sentai, I think it would have worked. But for Power Rangers, I don't know, it's awkward and weird. And it makes me think of the beginning of Star Trek Generations, where Data pushes someone in the water because he's trying to be funny, then he smiles at Geordi, and Geordi just goes, Data, that was not funny. That's kind of what I felt like here. Like, yeah, that's not funny. Anyway, let's see. When I take my notes here for the post for the rewatch picture on DeviantArt, after I write the notes out and I'm done watching the episode, I'll go to Ranger Wiki and GreenRanger.com, look up trivia and notes and stuff, and for this one there wasn't really anything too interesting. Like, the trivia was just like basic standard stuff, and yeah, not a whole lot of interesting behind the scenes about this or trivia that was revealed on Ranger Wiki. The one really interesting thing with this episode, though, that I never really thought about before, was this whole episode was a focus episode for Olympius. And that's kind of interesting, because villains don't usually get focus episodes, not like this, where the whole episode is focusing around them. Kind of ironic, because he's not actually there for most of the episode, it's him as other people. Anyway, so yeah, neat to have a focus episode for Olympius, but he himself isn't really all that interesting of a character. There's not a whole lot to him. He's just a pretty basic villain. Like, he wants to destroy the Rangers, he wants to take over the world, get things ready for his mother, Queen Banshira, to come in, and that's pretty much all there is to him. Is, yeah, there's not a lot to him. There's no, like, cool stoicism to him, or, like, a bizarre sense of honor like Diabolico had. He's just kind of lame, and I don't care for him. So, yeah, it's kind of like in Operation Overdrive. I really like Flurious. Flurious I thought was a really interesting character, but then Moltor is the one that seemed to get a lot of focus, and I didn't like Moltor. I thought Moltor was boring. Like, he looks okay, he's an okay character, but it's just weird that he gets so much focus when we have a far more interesting character. Although in Overdrive it was worse, because they were both there at the same time, and Moltor would get more focus. Or maybe it just feels like that, because I liked Flurious more. In here, Diabolico, let's see, he's been destroyed. They will bring him back, though, in the future, which I'm really happy about. Anyway, that's it for this one, I guess. See ya.